My name is Jessica, and I'm here to present a project that we call Business in Sustainable Urban Development. The aim of this project has been to build a research and knowledge environment that deals with the challenges that cities face when they try to collaborate with business or with the private sector. And it started with a pilot project in 2012 where we only got a phrase to us that we start working with, which was called affärsdriven stadsutveckling, or business-driven urban development. And from that pilot project, we have worked over a couple of years now trying to build this, going from a project into more of a knowledge field. And we realized that we have to work with this knowledge field from several different perspectives. So we have set together a group of researchers that can discuss and evaluate collaborations between cities and businesses from several perspectives, like law, business economy, management and organizations, and other issues. And why do cities and business need to collaborate? Well, cities need business in order to create new solutions for a sustainable urban futures. They also need business in order to create jobs and economic growth. And in the same time, business more and more needs cities, because they are future markets, and they are also the place where people working in the companies live, and that's where much of the knowledge that the business sector needs is created. So there is a close link between cities and business today, which is growing. But what we have seen in our research is that there is conflicting goals between business and the public sector or the city administration. There's also different time perspectives, there are different governance structures, and sorry?
There's something wrong with it.
Okay, well, I just talk for 2 more minutes and then you can ask me in the break. So we see that there are big differences between these two sectors when they try to collaborate. We also see that there is limited practical experience in collaborating. Today we collaborate mainly through quite structured processes that are steered by laws and regulations, but when we want to collaborate in a more loose way, we don't have the structures for it. And that leads to underperformance and privileged access, for example, to certain companies. I could just sum up with, we have had like 10 different sub-projects in this bigger project called Business in Sustainable Urban Development. We have been working in 3 different ways. We have had several projects where we try to understand the question together with stakeholders, which have been more process-oriented. We have had a lot of more classical case studies, and we have had several projects where we go into a more formative collaboration, where we work with a project or a problem together. Like when we have followed the innovation platforms that Vinnova has funded in different cities and worked more together with them in evaluating the process and understanding what they try to do, how they want to collaborate with companies. And maybe just to sum up a few words about our experiences from these more transdisciplinary processes, we can see that working in this way has surely given us a much better understanding for the question. We can have a much more holistic view of the problem than we could have had if we had worked only within one research field. But on the other hand, we also see that collaboration like this takes a lot of time. It's time consuming, and we see that there's a lack of institutional setup to collaborate. It's difficult for business and cities to collaborate, but it's also difficult for practitioners and academics to collaborate, because we have sort of different goals and different ideas about how to do things. And finally, now my colleague Anders Sandhoff, who's at the business school, is not here today, but we surely think that this joint leadership that we have had throughout the process has really benefited the project, because it has given us twice as large networks and double perspectives on everything. So as a whole, we think that this sort of investment from Mistra Urban Futures into this research environment has been really helpful over the years, and we can now see that we go into a stage where we have a sort of more institutionalized framework for what we do. And we can see that it's much easier now than 3 years or 5 years ago to apply for external funding, for example, for the issues that we work with. So without presentation, I hope this still gives you sort of a picture of what we have done in our project. Thank you.